The Outsiders Project, giving voice to the unheard.
And here comes the content warning. It's outsider art, so there's always strong content.
It begins as a treat at the weekend. I did not see my descent to the deep end of dependency. It doesn't take a detective to see the defects I deflect from, but reflect on these memories for just a second and ask yourself this question. Did my experimenting with chemicals stem from when I was 10 and small, watching my mum getting sent to a mental ward? You see, she suffered with this borderline personality disorder for some time, tortured by a distorted mind. And Dad, of course, he tried to ignore the signs, but torn inside had to draw the line. Whilst I watched everything around us come apart. But it must have been so fucking hard. Imagine dealing with your other half's other half, and when the trouble with my mother starts, he can't do nothing apart from hug her hard, love her heart. Then came the day she was taken away. And I can still picture the pain in her face. She was so missed that miserable Christmas. Dad just sits in the kitchen looking into the distance. I guess he just wished she was with us and could witness her kids ripping into their gifts, but she isn't. So soon he starts slipping into addiction by dipping his fingers into prescriptions. Whilst I was sent complaining to go play with the neighbours who were paid to babysit, but the crazy bit that makes me sick is, usually, he would ruthlessly choose to abuse me and leave blue bruises to confuse me. I'd use sleeves and excuses and refuse to speak the truth. See, I knew Dad's shoulders would not hold the extra tension. Though I guessed he could sense it, it never gets mentioned. But lately I'm sensing some pent-up resentment, for if he was more present, this could have all been prevented. So I started acting out, doing anything to get some attention, even if that meant getting detention. And that's when they sent in a counsellor to open up a dialogue and try and spot why I might be wired wrong. But he has got his wires crossed. It's not my mind that's gone. Inside I'm lost. I'm frightened. And that is why I cry a lot. And things get worse, because Dad's lost his job and we ain't got a pot to piss in. And at school I'm the topic of the gossiping. The other bods have got to dissing. It's become a fucking competition. Still, I stay optimistic and choose not to listen to the insults and take them with a pinch of salt, but they're like missiles leaving missing holes in my soul. And as a consequence, I've lost my confidence. But soon find a solution by abusing pharmaceuticals and snoozing in the music hall, or using tubes to boot some food in the school loo cubicles. And somehow suicide seemed suitable. I picture the other kids crying in their uniforms at my funeral, fucking beautiful. So now I stand on a urinal and use a cord to make a noose. All I have to do is fall. But I can never go through it all every time I lose my cool. So I jump back down feeling hopeless and hope that nobody has noticed me. Then slowly I go to the canteen and emotionally I overeat. Because no one sees that inside I'm at war with dysmorphia. And after I gorge, I use 4 fingers to forcibly cause nausea. Because my torso taunts me, I'm sure of it, there's no ignoring it, gnaws at me. And surely, Lord knows I've tried losing weight, but food's a great way to escape. Either that or I self-mutilate whilst the music plays. In my bedroom I lay and ruminate on the rumours made by the students through the day. The thoughts start to accumulate and communicate like tumours to intrude the space of my human brain, till I hallucinate in a lucid state. And I don't know who's to blame, choose a name, but it's true to say I've used the pain, abuse and shame as a excuse to aim darts, to target my father's heart. And when the arguments start, I'd rush in first and cuss and curse just to touch a nerve. I thought he must deserve it. But I was such a jerk and had much to learn, but carried such a burden. I was fucking hurting. And that's why writing this, it got me sad. Because I didn't know what I had till I lost my dad. It was not the plan. I'm just sorry that I forgot to call. And when he died, we never got to talk. So I'll take this time to tell him what I thought. You see, Dad, when Mum ended up in hospital, I know you felt responsible, but the way you responded was not cool. You dropped the ball. We lost it all. But now I know it's not your fault. And that is why I forgive you. And I just want you to know that finally I'm okay, because I found my way. And nowadays I'm proud to say I found a place in the town I stay, where I can let out the pain to a crowd of faces and tell them how I've changed and built foundations out of the ground basement. And I've learnt how to write lines and haikus in my mind that shine through, just to remind you. Hard times do not have to define you. In fact, you can use the fire inside you to inspire and guide you. And if you ever needed someone close, God is right beside you. I didn't quite know how to put an end to these sentences, but got left with 3 words each that made sense to me. Rest in peace, and let it be.